Hey, Coach Candace here with a video for you today, the second in a set of series where I'm following up on a infographic that I posted from Precision Nutrition regarding the 7 steps to help you make more time for your health and nutrition. And addressing this topic because many times when you ask people what is a common challenge that they face related to why they may not pursue more health and fitness, it often comes down to one of the top reasons being time. And in my previous video, I addressed one strategy to work through this barrier is to want to ask yourself why. And of course, you can go back into my channel and review that, or I'd be happy to send you the link to that. But today I'd like to address strategy number 2, and that's identifying your priorities. And Precision Nutrition encourages you to look at your priorities almost like a jar. And a jar is holding 3 things. It's holding some rocks, some pebbles, and some sand. And the rocks in that jar take up the most space in the jar, and that includes things that are definitely a top priority and very important. They are our health, perhaps making time for sleep. There are focusing on our employment, focusing on time and family. So these are things that we kind of are must-haves in our life. And then the next stage is to think about the other little things that you sprinkle in there. Now we have some room for some pebbles. And the pebbles represent things for us that are fun or may bring us satisfaction. So that might be working on a project that's important to us. Maybe that's exercise. Maybe that's another social type activity. It's whatever is fun and brings you happiness. And lastly, we have the sand that fills up the other remaining space in the jar. And those are things that are, let's say, bonus items, but they're not crucial. We can kind of look at scrolling social media as that, or any other particular activity might be, let's say, any other, again, activity that we don't have to do. Like we may feel like comfortable in the moment, but we don't have to do it. Now, I give you some examples here, but realize that still at the end of the day, each person's rock, pebbles, and sand are going to be unique to them. So don't compare what you find as a priority to not be somebody else's. So for example, it's probably one of my rocks to work out about 5 days a week. And that's something that's important to me, and I build my life around that. But I understand that might not be everybody's rock. It might actually be a pebble, or I hope not, but it might be somebody's sand. So just recognize that. And I couldn't help but recognize that people that know me well know that I love my You Are a Badass calendar, and I love the daily messages. And as I was setting this up here today and looking at today's calendar page, it reads, "The only person who can answer what you truly need to be the most joyfully you is you." So I do want you to carefully self-evaluate that for yourself. What are your rocks, your pebble, and your sand? And maybe perhaps you can shift that sand about a little bit, and maybe you're putting too much priority on the sand, and you should be really making more time for the rocks and the pebbles. And perhaps through that reflection, you'll find that you do have some more time for health and nutrition and taking care of yourself. Because if you don't do those, it might impact your ability to take care of the rocks in your jars. So I hope you found that helpful. By all means, please don't hesitate to ask any questions, or I'd appreciate your thoughts on how you navigate, the rocks and the pebbles in your life, and how you've shifted some sand to make room for some more. By all means, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.